Hi, how's everybody doing? My name's Theodore Rosa. This is my podcast for my C.S.I class. I'm here to explain to you about the technology of my field and the differences and how everything's changing in my field and how it hinders me and how it makes me excel in one or the other ways. So if you just bear with me, I'll let you know. So back in the day, we used to have analog sound, analog production, analog recording, which was a totally different kind of field. The machines were huge and cumbersome. You needed to have whole rooms just to be able to hold your DAT machines and hold your reverb machines and your compressors, and everything was big and clunky. And as time went on, it seemed that things started getting smaller and smaller, a little bit more uniform, but that's not to say that analog sound was bad, because in the digital age came through, and we went from these huge rooms, full of different equipment, soundboards and different compressors and reverbs and everything else, and we put it to a smaller area, and the computer started running all kinds of programs. Instead of us having these big machines, now we have these VSTs and RTASs, these different plugins that you can use and different samplers that you can use that are smaller and more uniform in shape, so you can have all this stuff in your computer instead of having a huge room to hold all these different things that basically would have done the same thing. But see, analog sound is a pure sound. I mean, I'm not knocking on the digital sound. Digital sound is beautiful, you can make digital into whatever you want, but there's something to be said for having an analog sound, because analog sound sounds live, it sounds real. Digital sounds electronic sometimes. In the new era with the digital, it's brought us things like Pro Tools and other DAW programs like Logic Studio. And these DAW programs will enable you to use different plugins and have as many tracks as you want in order to make your sound and your music sound whatever way you want it to sound. You can go back and you can edit and clean up and make everything so much easier than with the analog, which you had to learn everything from scratch. You had to know so many different things. Nowadays, it's like anybody can get on a computer and learn how to use the Reason program and learn how to use the Pro Tools program. Nowadays, you can go out, you can buy like the M-Box, which is an interface to hook up your microphone to your computer straight from the back and to your sound speakers in your studio. You can go and buy kits that have DAW programs like Pro Tools and Logic and come with USB keyboards, and then they come with USB microphones and different programs, so that way you can make music at home. So nowadays, what took a whole room to fill, with different kind of equipment just to make good music, now a person can sit in his own bedroom, his own living room, and do the same thing. What took a whole room of different equipment nowadays can fit right into your hard drive, which makes things a lot simpler. So if anything, technology has definitely gotten easier for my field, and it's easier for me to do the things I have to do in order to be artistic and creative, and that's basically it. So there you have it. We have analog versus digital. Now you have your pros and cons of both analog and digital. But for me personally, I think in my field, I think that I should learn how to use both analog and digital in order to get the best sounding music and the best sounding vocals and the best sounding tracks that I could possibly make. Things have changed from back then till now, made things a lot easier, but at the same time, you still have to remember your roots in order to make good quality music. So that is my podcast. Thank you very much for listening.